so glad to see a hotel. It's a lot of miles, but it should be a lot of fun. Austin, Massachusetts to Austin, Texas and back. How did it go? Well, that's what this video is intended to look at. Obviously, Electrify America, pretty much the biggest part of this journey. Already did a video on that, looking at the costs and the convenience. But, you know, aside from the one stop, which was a bit of a disaster, the 25 other stops ranged from pretty much perfect to, you know, just mildly inconvenient. It's already possible to do coast to coast, you know, northeast to southwest. Both coasts are pretty easy, you know, going at the moment, especially West Coast with California having so many stations, and East Coast is pretty much, you know, it's covered as well. So, yeah, I mean, the takeaway is that you can do these journeys and they are not even that difficult, to be honest. There's a little bit of kicking your heels. You don't really get to choose exactly where you would like to spend that time necessarily. But, you know, for the stage we're at, I think that's a solid takeaway. And yeah, I won't be doing any 2,000, 3,000 mile journeys anytime soon, but the fact that you can do it and the fact that it was such a fun event to go down to in an electric vehicle is enough for me to have enjoyed that. Okay, day one, Boston to Austin. Shouldn't this one be charged? Might not see this, but that's the 2017. This is how we'll go to Austin. So this is my first time really driving the 2020 in any distance. It's cold, under 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Same familiar screen. 239 miles on the GOM. I don't think that's anywhere near accurate. We'll have to figure out what it does, but it's only 1 mile above the EPA estimate of this one over here. Okay, so the first thing I will do is hit the reset. So we're back down to the average of 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. We'll see how that changes. One of the things I wanted to note is that we've only driven 70, not even 72 miles. This is less because we picked it up from the dealer with maybe 30, 40 miles on it. Everything is reset here, but here we go. I have a companion. My kids did not want me to leave without a driving partner, so he won't be doing much driving, but hopefully he'll be a good conversationalist. He'll pick up various accoutrements from the states we passed through on the way along. But for now, let's get on the road. Connecticut from New York City. Lots of charging around here. I just passed Charlton Service Plaza, which has one single EVgo station. There's also at Sturbridge a Holiday Inn Express with four EVgo 50 kilowatt units, but the temperatures dropped quite decent amount here. It's 26 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and starting to cycle the heater on and off a little bit more because it's getting a bit nippy. Not quite able to handle it with just the heated steering wheel and the car seats. So still cruising at 73 miles per hour. Definitely trending all the way down to the bottom of the GOM now. Looks like Lee, Massachusetts might be required, a Lee Service Plaza stop just to give us a little bump, and might be able to grab a coffee there as well and a pee break, but we'll see how it goes. That's winter. It's way below freezing here, 27 degrees Fahrenheit now. close for comfort. 57 miles on the GOM, around 50 miles to the welcome centre. This will be very literally, I hope, a 10-minute stop, but unlike the last time we came through here,
Destination is on the right.
this should be pretty quiet today. Let's see. Yep, just one car, not in the marked spot. So yeah, here we see Capital Region Welcome Centre, 48 miles. 57 miles on the GOM. It has got back down to not trending down to the minimum, but just a bit too close again. We'll get plugged in here, see what startup rate we get. Only 100 amps, sad. So decent startup rate, but not too different to what we got in the 2017 Bolt. Battery temperature is still just sitting at 41 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm wondering if I've got the right one there, the right number or the right PID, but we'll see. Anyway, it's starting at 29%. I'll give it a bump of maybe 10% here, and then we will head off. We've got the range we need now. I think that's been about just coming over 10 minutes. I think I'll give it a 10% bump in range, which will bring us to 39%, and then shut it off and get going again. We've got the Capital Region Welcome Centre here. That's 48 miles away.
On your way to Capital Region.
Gives the 20-mile buffer that we'd normally like, even with the low.
Head west toward I-90 West.
That should be plenty.
Head west toward I-90 West.
So, here we are again, just south of Albany, 173 miles driven, 27 miles left on the gasometer. That 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour held. I did use the heater a bit more because it got very chilly. It's back up to 31 degrees Fahrenheit now. We were down as low as 25 at some point. Look at these, let's see, we're just above 60 kilowatt hours. So the old pack wouldn't have done it, this might have done. No extra energy shoved in at Lee, but I'm glad we did it. It was just a bit more comfortable. But let's get plugged in and go from there. We're only 100 amps in Lee. Those are older units. I think these are above, I think they're up to 125 amps. I seem to recall getting well over 100 when we were here last time. Yep, straight up to 120 amps, 345 volts, 15%. Again, this one is free. So thank you, New York State. So perhaps with 15%, let's see, I added 10%. I guess I could have kept on coming and arrived at 5%, but there you go. We'll play it safe on this particular part of the journey. We should remind ourselves that the previous stop in Lee was slower because of 100 amps rather than the 120 we're getting here. So that was the equipment in that case. Yes, so we just hit 80%, 386 volts, 65 amps right now. Notice this, no canopy for the EV drivers, or any driver I suppose. The motorcycles get a shelter, so if you're an electric bike, you're in good shape. So, as you can see, Herkimer, Electrify America, first one of the journey is only 93 miles. We have 162 at least. We are good to go to 80%. I'm gonna record some numbers and we'll be on our way. Leg of the journey was over to New York, was a little bit, needed some thought. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't coming into New York State with not enough or only just about enough to get to the welcome center there, but we charged up no problem in the end. So whilst we're on the way to Herkimer here with plenty of juice and not really needing to think about the GOM, I wanted to kind of cover the fact that this is a new car. This is the 2020 Bolt EV Premier. We're going from a 2017 Bolt EV Premier. So it's not a massive departure, but any new car, you know, has some question marks over it. You don't know it as well as you know your previous vehicle. So actually that first leg of the journey seemed to be very similar to what we would expect in 2017. We got 2.8 miles per kilowatt hour, super cold, going up in the elevation once you get into the Berkshires, and it was pretty much the same as going in the 2017 over the Christmas holidays. So I haven't really got a feel for whether this increased 10% range is making a big difference yet. I think that will start to show itself more when we're in warmer climates, or at least, you know, not in this, around this freezing level. So also there's the vehicle needing to get up to speed and understand how we're driving. The gasometer is always going to be changing depending on whether you're driving freeway speeds. Good conditions like today, or at least, you know, road conditions, dry, no precipitation. Rain and snow will obviously make a difference. You have less traction. Winds, we've had a few today, but doesn't feel crazy strong. It's not that gusty, so that's not hampering the range, I don't think. Terrain makes a difference, and the car just needs to figure it out. So this has been trying to get up to speed, but I think it seemed to be on track within the first 50 to 60 miles, so that was positive. The car itself, I mean, you know, I've got to do a full video comparing the 2020 to the 2017. Feels pretty similar. I mean, there's not a whole lot of changes. Android Auto is a lot quicker, but I have upgraded my phone recently from a very, you know, 4 or 5 year old flagship phone to a new Google Pixel, so that's kind of expected with the latest version of Android and running Android Auto. What should be useful as I start to figure it out, the energy usage screen has changed to this range impact screen, so telling you what in terms of miles, what your the way you're driving is how it's affecting you and your range. So everything else looks pretty standard. The dash is the same, all the same instrument clusters, which is good because I've always liked the Bolt TV's readout. It's nice, futuristic, gives you a lot of information. So the final thing to talk about that might be useful is road trip preparation. So not specifically winter, just in general. The way I usually set this out, what I would normally do is turn the dash here to the enhanced view, and I'll overlay that on the screen here for the video edit. But that's going to give you your, on the left hand side here, your gasometer range, so GOM, in the middle, the predicted range, and then a max, and then a minimum. And it's going to give you a trend line, which if it's trending up towards the max will be a green line, if it's trending down towards the min will be a yellow line, as it is right now for me. So that's helpful in that I can see right now, I mean, I've got plenty of mileage to get to Herkimer, but the current middle, the estimated range is 91 miles, but the minimum, which it's trending down towards, is 74 miles. It's going to give you an idea, you know, if this destination was more like 60, 65 miles away, I would be getting towards the edge of concern that I was only going to arrive with 7 or 8 miles left on the dash here, because it's trending down towards that. Even though you have the 90 miles on the center cluster, the main estimated range, the 73 miles is kind of your guaranteed minimum there. So this is why I like the dash reading enhanced, so I know that minimum and maximum if you need it, but the minimum's the most useful, obviously, the trip meter, but the average as well. So that's telling me at the moment 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour, which is horrible, and it could be a mix of going up some hills here and going a little bit faster. But if I have that in front of me, I know whether I'm going up or down, and that in conjunction with the trend line on the gasometer is a good mix of, you know, if the average is going down and you're trending down towards the minimum, and you're not, you know, certain you have the range to make it to your next destination, that's an indicator to either slow down, plan another charge station that's a little bit closer, or find a route that is maybe off the highway and you can go those slightly slower speeds that the Bolt sits in more of a comfort zone, so the 50, 60 miles an hour. But that's my setup, that's how I look at it. It's Google Maps in the center here telling me how far to my destination, the main enhanced dash reading a estimated range, and you can adjust the speed up and down, you know, accordingly. The heater use, whatever, can help you save some energy if you need it.
Turn right onto New York 28 North, Mohawk Street, then turn
Simply
right.
work as seamlessly as last time.
Take the next left, then turn right.
Yeah, we'll go on the one we went on last time just to see. It's number 4. And hopefully this is good. Okay, so quick debrief. It's 11:55 a.m. We're in Herkimer, New York, roughly 100 miles from the Capital Region Welcome Center in this direction, and roughly another 100 miles to the Waterloo premium outlets around this area. So we're right in the middle here. The Waterloo premium outlets are important because they have the Electrify America site there as well. We're comfortable again, still haven't seen any orange this trip. That's maybe due to me being too cautious, but we'll see. Start the journey off right, and then we can get into more adventurous stuff later on. 266 miles driven. Information. Oh, look at that. Bang on 100 kilowatt hours and 266 miles driven. 2% climate settings. Haven't needed any heat in the last couple of hours. And if I'm reading the right battery temperature, because I'm having a bit of trouble looking at the PIDs, the right PIDs for this one, That is the battery temperature right now, so we should be up to a pretty good startup rate here, but let's get out and take a look. Dirty, not that well lit, but there we go. Let's plug in. Okay, so I'm going to do that from the app. So number 4 is unavailable because of me. Swipe. Unable to start session. Let's try it again. But let's try again. We're on. You can see up there, they have the charger ID number at the top. We're on number 4. Should just be swipe to start, but that is not going to happen, is it? Okay, move to another charger. Let's try that. Okay, so if you want to hate, now would be the time to do it, because this is Electrify America's not so good side. Every single unit unable to charge. Called customer service. Ryan did his best, as always. The same old story really. When you have to call customer service, you kind of appreciate their efforts, but no joy here. So we are gonna have to look for a level 2 plug and reassess. I am hungry, so that's one thing. We can use the lingering stop to do that, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a rethink. So only 300 miles in, and obviously an inauspicious start. I do want to point out that we got the entire way on Electrify America. Obviously, you've seen the reports in other videos. We got down there, we got back. So it was the low point of the trip in that sense. And obviously it shows what can happen when things go wrong. But, you know, all in all, Electrify America was affordable on this trip, more or less reliable on every stop after this. This really just shows, you know, the kind of ups and downs of the non-Tesla network. This was the low point for the trip, but we got all this way and the rest of it. It also shows the lack of redundancy in New York State. You know, you just have these few Electrify America sites to support you. But we will see the best of the network in the next episode, and join us for that video.